My name is Harry, and I'm from London.
Meghan Markle here.
All right, let's pause this. All right, so that's a whole bunch of video clip here. Okay, she tagged somebody here. You've got to check to ask if we should give her a second chance, end quote. You and the whole of GB News, including the Pismo one, who ITV presenter told you not to show in your 10th anniversary show yesterday, practically push her on the plane with your daily bullying rant. Okay, and oh, let's not forget the other one who told her to go back to America. Let's not forget about that. How could I forget? My goodness. All right, 54 seconds.
Anyone would want. We should give her a second chance.
Well, I think that some people might say, should she give the UK a second chance? Should she come
Yes,
back?
it would. You know,
No.
it's a big split, actually. It seems to be younger people are team Meghan,
Yeah.
and older people are team William, Kate, Charlie, and the rest. And then there's also something of a split on people of colour.
I suspect.
People who are
I
of colour.
suspect.
Because people of colour will have experienced some racism and people looking at them odd or treating them differently.
Yes.
That we, as white Britons, don't experience.
I think
You
very
probably
different
have
to
given
both
occasions to
America
come across
is
this.
married into the royal family and it didn't work out. Yeah, so I think
Because the royal family didn't like the fact that the people, okay, the people like Harry and Meghan, they wanted the people to like them instead. So out of that came the jealousy. All right, look at this. In video 1, you will see there's an outing of William. Not many people there, but they want people to like them, but people are not showing up. Charles went to an outing. Video 1. Okay, all you see is mostly photographers. Where the people? All right. So if you sided with the people, you help them, you provide them with what they need, guess what? You will get the people on your side. But you're treating people like shit, and you still want and you're doing nothing significant, and you still want the people to cheer for you. What kind of stupidity is that? Oh my goodness. But let's continue. This guy is making excuse for the institution with his stupid thing, as if none of the thing that happened, that Harry and Meghan experienced happened. My goodness.
and they made their decision.
Shall we talk about
Yeah, I think
another
that's true.
relationship that hasn't worked out? Your
Anyone would want. We should
Thank God Harry made the court review the paper. Let me pause. Oh my God, there's a lot of... Okay, this one is a minute. Lord, the Harry and Meghan, Nigeria is about to get them pissed. LOL, yes. Let Meghan know she's 43%. All right, a minute. Let's listen.
About whether or not they're keen to have a contrast between when William and Kate were quite poorly received in the Caribbean, okay, and the optics of that, and now whether they're going to get a different reception in Nigeria that might make them look great.
Yeah, I think Meghan and Harry will get stuck in on the ground, as it were. So Kate and William were standing in an open-top car in sort of, William was wearing military uniform, and of course the shaking the hands through the fence. So, and that was choreographed. And to be honest, the Queen actually influenced a lot of that. So I feel a bit bad for William and Kate, because she wanted to sort of recreate that sort of.
Okay, so there's the thing here, shifting the blame. And then William, a grown-ass man, can say, no, this optic will not look good. I do not want to do that. So William doesn't have a say, right? So he's a freaking puppet. Okay. My goodness, the way they're making this kid... Well, he's a freaking ass man. I'm saying kid. But anyway...
50s iconic moment. Anyway, so of course Meghan and Harry will have learnt from that and will not do that. And if anything, will try and probably stir up that memory. I think that's a really good...
But why will Harry and Meghan will want to do that? Why would they want to do that? They don't need to look at William and Kate kind of thing. They're doing their own thing. Oh, Lord.
Point. And make themselves look like they're sort of the people. And Meghan is very keen to tell as many people as possible that she's 43% Nigerian. So she'll be making that point a few times.
About whether or not they're...
Oh, I'm glad she knows Meghan is 43%. Okay, dear press, our princess is going to her motherland, comma, for all the slaves owners in the past. Okay, 8 seconds only.
And Meghan is very keen to tell as many people as possible that she's 43% Nigerian. So she'll be making that. And
she grabbed that specific part. Let's go to the next one. It's about to go down, but let me do a throwback to the Sussex royal visit when we were in Fiji. That balcony scene had them sitting in Buckingham Palace, and the hating, racism, bullying began more vehemently when they arrived back. But Harry and Meghan are love, and they can't stop. Okay. Oh, there's more. Yeah, racism and bullying began more vehemently when they arrived back, but Harry and Meghan are loved, and they can't stop that. The thing is that I spoke about this. This, for majority of people, yes, in the facade, I think it really revamped the thing. But when all four of them, Harry, Meghan, William, Kate, were sitting on stage talking about whatever it is that they were talking about, when Meghan started talking and telling her when women has a voice, I'll put that clip here.
I think that knowing that I've just been here for 3 months, right? And in that amount of time, but with that said, for me, it's very important to, once you hit the ground running, even if you're doing it quietly behind the scenes, which is what I've focused my energy on thus far, is meeting with the right people, meeting with the right organizations behind the scenes quietly, learning as much as I can so that I can maximize the opportunity we have here to really make an impact. I think what's interesting is I hear a lot of people saying when speaking about girls' empowerment, finding and knowing their worth, or women's empowerment as well, you'll often hear people say, well, you're helping women find their voices. And I fundamentally disagree with that, because women don't need to find a voice. They have a voice, they need to feel empowered to use it, and people need to be encouraged to listen. You'll often hear people say, well, you're helping women find their voices. And I fundamentally disagree with that, because women don't need to find a voice. They have a voice, they need to feel empowered to use it, and people need to be encouraged to listen.
This is where it triggered. I'll say maybe where it started. It raised their radar, because they want women to have no say in that institution. So it raised their radar. And then this pretty much just fueled it. Okay? That outing just fueled it. I really don't think. I believe the Sussex squad and Harry said this is where it started. I'm even discrediting the own recipient of it. I'm even discrediting Harry and that. I don't think this is where it started. It's just fuel, add to it. Okay? And then they went on their hate thing to make sure Harry and Meghan don't be successful. But the thing is that Harry and Meghan are chosen by God. They are blessed. Okay? God will always protect them. All right, 21 seconds. Wow. Okay, yeah, that really breaks some heart back in the UK. Oh my God, there's more. Okay, LOL, clueless Kenzie. With her fake news about Harry's wife heritage, they're all sitting because they have to be mindful how to talk about this great African nation that they're going to visit. There's this here, 53 seconds. Okay, these are, oh my God, I didn't know I had all these videos in there. Okay, so let's just do it. I'm already an hour.
And next week, he's going to be doing a reading at the St Paul's Cathedral Invictus commemoration. I think it's 10-year anniversary, isn't it? But she will be meeting him in Nigeria, and it turns out she's 45% Nigerian.
It's 43, but I also would argue that if you read Tom Bower's book Revenge, he does have a chapter on the fact that she told Elle magazine that she had Maltese heritage so she could get a free trip to Malta, and then didn't actually execute the piece because they found out she did not have any of that heritage. So I don't, with Meghan Markle, she's a chameleon. You never know who she's trying to impress. So I hope that she has a great trip. But I never know what she's saying. I never know if I should take it with a grain of salt or not.
The next one.
Oh my God. And then you're taking it from Tom Bauer? God help them. Give her a baggage. At David, the audacity of it apparently saw Sophie, aka Ford Fiesta, had the same fashion sense of Our Lady Diana, Duchess of Edinburgh. Is a breath of fresh air. There's a life here. Patient is virtue. If you work hard, she's on the front page. Okay, 1 minute and 50 seconds. Oh, God.
Proof that patience is a virtue, and if you work hard and stay focused, your time to shine will come. She was under immediate scrutiny when she hit the scene because she was a self-made career woman, a young woman who was incredibly successful. She was a commoner, and she looked so similar to Princess Diana when she was younger. So they were constantly pit against each other when it came to beauty and fashion. She tried and failed the half-in, half-out route, but unlike who she ultimately chose, the family, and despite some of that chaos, she was rewarded for her loyalty. So absolutely, I think that the king very much believes in the Duchess of Edinburgh, is so grateful for her contribution, and we saw real leadership with her today.
Oh my God.
Kinsey, to see that she actually bumped the Prince and Princess of Wales off the front of some of the newspapers this morning. She made it onto the front of the Telegraph, whereas it was the brand new...
Bump Princess of Wales. But where is Princess of Wales? Nobody's seen Princess of Wales. But instead, what we're hearing is her past. Go in video 1, you'll hear the nonsense that they talk... Some of them seems to be true.
That we haven't seen to mark their wedding anniversary that's made it onto the front of the Times. And I suppose that shows, how significant that visit is and how prominent she's becoming.
The late Queen's favorite daughter-in-law, also meeting with President Zelensky. And during her surprise stop, she spoke to survivors of sexual violence and torture and heard from children who'd been returned to Ukraine after being...
Did she talk to Prince Andrew? That would be a start.
Separated from their families. And when she met with President Zelensky, she gave him a private note from the king, and they discussed how to support these survivors of sexual assault and conflicts.
Oh God.
I know some people might criticize
the institution and sexual violence that should not even be. Oh my God.
This move as political, but this was without a doubt a very courageous visit from Sophie. There are no guarantees in the middle of war, and it does just tell you how much faith His Majesty has in his sister-in-law.
They don't send any of the blood prince in the war, but they send her. But okay. But the F they're debating, quote, why won't Harry's wife come? Who's that? Something Jew, Athens Jew.
Proof that patience is a virtue, and
get at them. Okay, so how many minutes is that? Is that a video? No, that's an image. So that was for... Okay, there's this. You said it. 1 minute and 2 seconds. Okay, how many more? Okay, it's almost done.
Whether Hi everyone, I'm just backstage at Good Morning Britain. I've just been on with Duncan discussing whether Meghan feels welcome to come back to the UK and Britain for the Invictus Games. I say run girl, we've all been there, where you have a family function or maybe you have to see some in-laws that you don't really want to see, and it's about keeping your mental health in check. This is about you. We're in a different era. I think do what makes you happy, chase your peace, chase your light. Meghan has been savage in this country for doing what? I don't actually know. I think she's been savage for being uppity, for being not grateful. This is a woman who has done charity and purposeful work all her career. She has been successful. She went to an Ivy League college. She doesn't have to be grateful for anything. She got her man, she got her chickens. She's living her best life in Southern California. Why would you come where you're not welcome and you're treated like nonsense? Run, save yourself. But that's my opinion. Tell me what you think. Bye.
I agree with her. All right. So what is this now? All right. So let's pause. Okay, so what is that here? The audacity of that Duncan Lambas, the Sun reporter stalker who went to jail for hacking phones. Okay, 2 minutes and 14 seconds. There's a lot of videos I didn't know it was.
Things have soured. It was a fairy tale beginning for Meghan Markle when she married the man of her dreams, became a princess back in 2018 on a glorious day. But since then, we've had Megxit, a rift with the royal family, and of course all those legal battles against the press.
And now Prince Harry is due to return to the UK next week. Meghan will not be coming with him. In fact, she last set foot in the UK over 18 months ago for the Queen's funeral. So, whose fault is it that Meghan is not coming to Britain?
Well, the former royal editor of The Sun, Duncan Larkham, he says it's all her fault. She's made herself unwelcome. She's reaping what she sowed. But broadcaster Archewell thinks that the
What? But okay. God, everybody, all these people, they need their own baggage. Not her though. Well, everybody has their own baggage. You know what they could carry. But by saying that, that doesn't mean anything negative. You see, you have eyes.
Well, press are to blame. That old sort. I mean, she did invite a great deal of opprobrium by doing that interview with Oprah, didn't she?
Before Oprah, she has been absolutely savaged in this country. I completely support her. My heart's a little bit broken. It could have been a new era for the royal family, having someone who looks like my mixed heritage children. But she has been completely savage for nothing. What is her crime? Has she been partying with convicted paedophiles? What has she actually done, apart from being a little bit ungrateful, which I think is her real crime?
So you don't blame her for not coming. Do you think it's a conscious choice? She does not want to come to Britain because she feels she'd be torn apart again by the tabloid press.
This is someone who has said that she has been suicidal. She reached out for help. She was not helped. It is about protecting her mental health. We've all been there, having to go to a family function or your in-laws and you don't fancy it, and I say run.
Duncan Larkham.
Yes.
You used to be royal editor of The Sun.
Yeah.
It's the tabloids would have done it.
Utter nonsense, I'm afraid. Yeah, when Meghan turned up on the scene, it was a breath of fresh air. It was the Markle sparkle. The way it was reported was entirely positive. Harry, at the time,
I remember it too.
And Harry was one of the most popular members of the royal family, second only to his grandmother. And now within 3 years, effectively, in those opinion polls, they're second in the bottom, only above Prince Andrew.
Is that right to say that the abuse of...
This is the thing that they keep on... Was it in this video where I was saying that they keep on putting Harry along with Prince Andrew?
Meghan, in the papers began before the...
Okay, we're still up here. My goodness! Did they say this guy went to jail? Okay, I don't know anything about that, but okay.
Meghan, in the papers began before the Oprah interview.
What abuse? What abuse?
What?
It's often described...
You don't know what abuse?
Sour.
Okay, these are... come on. These are the things that I keep on saying. In order for them to understand it, they have to go through it. You don't know what abuse? Okay.
Is it right to say that the abuse of Meghan in the papers began before the Oprah interview?
What abuse? What abuse?
God.
She's often described as descendant of a slave. I've never heard anyone described like that.
When was she described that? In what newspaper? It wasn't a newspaper that did it. And Harry and Meghan have made that narrative that they were treated badly by the press, and they were not.
I'll DM you.
What the hell?
It's there. The way she's been treated, the way she was, she's from Compton, all of this nonsense. She's a really well-educated, Ivy League, independent, financially independent, successful person who was doing a lot of charity and purposeful things.
She's very independent. She's broken off from her entire family, and now Harry's broken off from his entire family.
Genuine.
That may have been one of the things that upset her, and of course the photographs were a setup. I was set up by a guy named Jeff Rayner and another guy named Dylan Howard, who was with American media, I think. And the whole thing was a plan to actually mess up the wedding.
Very independent. She's broken off from her entire family.
And the whole thing was a plan to actually mess up the wedding.
Truthfully.
Oh, damn. I will want the woman to respond to that part. Working part of the family. Remember that letter again? This is why the privacy letter went to court, because she was trying to reach the father to stop talking to the press. And then someone went behind her back to let others know the father had the letter. Meghan will not go and tell people that she's sending the father the letter, besides who she was talking to, and ask him, Jason Kunoff, to keep it between her and him only.
Have been, as we know, is that the Mail on Sunday had the ruling against them in February, and they were then appealing it. So it was lawyers from the Mail on Sunday who would have approached Jason Naff, knowing that these emails and messages existed. That would have been the point. And unless, I mean, the most likely outcome is that Jason obviously would have then gone to William and Kate, and clearly he has cooperated. He would not have cooperated with those lawyers without their definite knowledge.
How did anybody else know? How did the Mail know the father had the letter? When Meghan was trying to reach out to the father and the father refused to pick up the phone. All this was mentioned. Who knew? How did the Daily Mail, whoever had went and get the letter to publish it? How did they know about that? Meghan was trying to prevent all of this. Oh my God! Let me move it back again.
Sorry, family.
Genuinely, truthfully, if Meghan came with Prince Harry, how do you honestly think the tabloids would treat her? Right now.
Well, it depends what she said and what she did. I think,
wow.
You know.
But you don't seem to be you have already condemned her.
Okay, depend what she said and did. What did Meghan do when she accompanied Harry to the Queen's funeral? What did she say? Did Meghan say anything besides talking to some of the people who were when she went to the walkabout? When she spoke to Amara, I can't believe I remember her name.
We were just waiting for her to come, and she came near me and asked my name and how my day was, how long I was waiting, and I asked her if I could have a hug, and she hugged me back. So that was just quite an amazing moment. I'm still shaking now. I can't really explain what the feeling was when she did it, but it was really nice.
Why did you feel like you wanted to hug her?
Because, I don't know, it just went through my mind, like everyone was kind of cheering me on to, and I guess I just felt like I needed to in a way. Like I just really wanted to at least hug her because I look up to her in some ways, and it just felt like it was the right thing to do.
I feel like she's going through a lot.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's just it's still such a sad thing like that is happening now.
Why do you feel a bit of sympathy for her? Just because the Queen's passing, or because of her whole, relationship with the royal family?
I guess in both. So because of the Queen died, and also because of everything. But I did see that. I feel like it was quite nice to see William and Kate and Meghan and Harry together, and it was fine. But yeah, I just wanted to show her that she's welcome here, I guess. I wanted to hug her after everything that's happened really now.
What did she do for her to get that week long of abuse? I would like to know. Did she deserve that when all she was doing was supporting her husband? My goodness.
You've said that actually she deserved what she got. She was treated badly because of what she did.
What did she do?
I'm not sure I said that.
Your colleagues in the tabloids are not going to be fair.
Well, there you are. You said a few minutes ago. It depends what she does and do, or what she does and say. What did she say during the Queen's funeral? Week long of abuse. She didn't say anything besides supporting her husband, do the walkabout, and then talk to some of the people on the sideline. Oh my Lord.
Towards her, or even encouraging and welcoming, are they?
Well, I just don't think that the news works like that. We can't confuse, and this is what's been a problem all along, is confused columnists writing their opinions to create debate in newspapers. But also,
what happened here?
She's had horrific abuse on those platforms.
She has, yes.
And I've defended her for that. But to say that newspapers, particularly the British press, have just decided with this woman we're going to...
Oh, God. Well, she won her case, though. Let's continue.
The British press have just decided with this woman we're going to...
What the hell? It's not me. Did they do that on purpose?
Make her a public hate figure. It's not true.
Well, what do you think then?
It's not
I
true.
mean, what we can agree on is that she's not popular in this country out there. If we did a poll on it now, it wouldn't be favourable. What's she done wrong?
Well, I think if you had to be her PR advisor and for her and Harry, and you said, right, you've had a good start here. Let's see if we can make you as unpopular as possible. I don't know more that they could do to advise them. The way that they went off to America, the way that they, during COVID, when people were struggling, managed to cash in on the family silver, over $100 million, we're told, through deals. Then a book spare, the Oprah Winfrey, where they're accusing the royals for being racist. I mean,
and also concerns and conversations about how dark his skin might be when he's born.
What?
So there are several conversations.
There's a conversation with you?
With Harry.
About how dark your baby is going to be?
Potentially, and what that would mean or look like.
Prince Harry confirming the allegation.
That conversation I'm never going to share. But at the time it was awkward. I was a bit shocked.
I don't need to...
Okay, then they had to tell their side of the story. But the thing is that you didn't answer the question. Why did they left? You didn't answer that. You going after they left because they had to tell their side of the story. You guys went on and on and on and on and on non-stop. She asked for help. You guys didn't want to help. You create this fantasy thing about the bullying and all of that. She didn't do anything. But you guys still didn't put the bully report out. What did...
public hate figure.
Oh, come on. What did Meghan do when she was living in the UK for her to leave? What did she do? Oh, my Lord.
Off a whole list of things. It's probably
Because
easy to say...
There is none.
No list. She's done nothing wrong.
That's
they had
right.
to do that because they had to pay for security. And wouldn't you do that to defend your family?
Thank you.
You've been cut off.
If you attack your family...
So victims or people with toxic families can't speak out.
No,
Is that what you're saying?
of course they can.
So never complain, never explain that kind of... We all know about mental health, about talking about these issues and discussing it. So are we going back to that old trope?
No, we're not. No, not at all.
But
No.
Atto, do you think that they genuinely thought that what was written in Spare and what was said in the Oprah interview would not lead to the kind of breakup in the family that it did?
I think, coming from someone who has had toxic family and issues, I think it's right to talk about these things. This is
That's
how we
right.
move on as a society. They were estranged for a lot of reasons. I think they took themselves off, they removed themselves from their mental health. And this is how we move forward by having discussions.
Well, let's say throughout Meghan's time in the UK, even before she married the institution, they sent their papers to really fishing out people they think Meghan knows, people Meghan have worked with, try to pay them money to lie about her.
know we can rely on you for being a great guy. So what an incredible friend you were to Meghan Markle is. Have you guys hung out at all since then?
No, we haven't spoken. She just wrote me a very nice thank you letter and I framed it, and that was very nice of her to do. She just appreciated that I was honest, but it's so funny that we live in a time where everyone's like, it's such a big deal. I just did the right thing. Right. You know, it's okay to feel like that should be the norm and the status quo, but it's like, whoa, it's so crazy. He told the truth. I think we should all be a little more honest.
Well, thank you for doing the right thing.
Even before she married into the institution, you see the nonsense we're seeing now going video one about Kate Middleton, about her past. This is the thing that they were trying to get out of from Meghan, to know the dirty things about Meghan. There was none. They were trying to pay people to create a fantasy about Meghan. There was none. The person who was in need of money at that time still then take the money to talk negative about Meghan because they wanted something negative about her. So when they are in trouble themselves, they could bring her past back in. But everything that they see from her past were all positive. So they have nothing to go by.
About how the media inflames this. I was called by the Sun newspaper. If you don't know what the Sun is, it's sort of
got the topless girl on page 3. That's all you need to know.
And they called me about a month ago to ask if I'd write about how Meghan was like Wallace and how Meghan was going to destroy the royal family and the arguments between Meghan and Kate. And I said, I'm really sorry, I'm just not privy to all of this. I don't think I could do it. And the commissioning editor was really twisting my arm to write this article and say, but you could say, couldn't you, that X happened, and you could say that she's fired all her staff, and you could say that Kate has said this. And I said, well, I'm really sorry, I don't know that, I can't do it. And this conversation went on for about half an hour, and I didn't write the article, but it just gives you an insight into how this whole thing is being, you know, the flames are being fanned by the media,
You've heard the phrase
view.
cottage industry. This is a palace industry. Yeah.
Okay, so even this guy, he can't even tell what Meghan did in the institution. That was so bad. What was so bad? She did the cookbook. She did smart work and some other charities that we probably will never know. She worked with the animal shelters. She did all of that. Is that bad? They refuse to repeat these things because it helped her popularity. This is what the people want. But he went after they left because they chased him out. And this is why Harry had to take everything to court. So those things could be released and people know what's going on. From the security aspect of things, the newspapers, and all of that. And then in January, there's a lawsuit that's coming up. Many of the people have already settled, but Harry continues. And then Meghan, who sued the paper regarding her privacy, how did the paper know about the letter that was sent to the father? Why? Because someone Meghan was talking to and asked him to keep it confidential. But for some reason, other people knew to go get the letter and then publish it. And then the palace refused to help her. They gave her the runaround, and when she got tired of it, she took, because she has her own money, she took her own lawyer and then sued, and then she won. And then everything you were hearing during that time, oh, don't sue, you're gonna lose, you'll never win, you da-da-da-da-da.
Is that the case? No, absolutely not. No, I mean, and if we're talking about why this whole, you know, Harry Meghan thing started, it started because several years ago, if you cast your mind back, the Queen was and always will be the most popular royal, but second to that was Harry. It wasn't William and Kate. It was not William and Kate. And when Harry and Meghan became such a popular couple, it put everybody's noses out of joint. The establishment wanted to retain the monarchy as it was, to boost William and Kate, and the media, the Daily Mail and the Telegraph in particular, fed those lines.
Well, I agree with everything until you said the last bit. I think that somebody in the palace decided to take them down a peg or two, and it went too far. Absolutely. But it's all history now, isn't it?
But it's not history, because, for instance, if you take the media on, as Dawn will know, you
never win.
If you never win, but the media will always be at war with you, and the Daily Mail does everything drip, poison.
And it's not like Harry and Meghan never use the media, of course. I mean, that Oprah Winfrey
if you were in that position, you would fight back too.
What did she do? She sued and then she won.
The press and the media. And as they say at the start of episode 1, they say so many books and shows and stories have been written about us. We wanted to have our own say. And remember, the purpose of the PR office at the royal family is to keep the royals in the press all the time. So you have to remember, when I work in newsrooms, it's a fact that every anti-Harry and Meghan story comes from Kensington Palace.
But why
and if it comes from Kensington Palace, why are they briefing against their own grandson?
Well, okay, that's a very the idea.
Why are there never any
I think that's fascinating
about Prince William?
Well, William and Kate involved in briefing against them originally, I don't know.
So you people are full of it. May God give you one hell of a
Duncan, thank you very much indeed.
Alright, so that's that. Oh my God, I can't believe I went through all of that. So let's go back. Okay, so I went through this. I see all of this. Let's go back again. Oh, okay, let me bring... Okay, I'm already past an hour. Alright, so let's do this. Okay, so this is where it all started. Okay, so I think I went everything. Okay, so I did everything. So that's it. Yeah, please take a moment to subscribe, like, and share. If you want to support this channel, there's a PayPal link and a Cash App link in the description. You could donate. Those who have donated, thank you. I don't know if I'm gonna make this into 3 parts now that those recordings were so long, so we'll see when I'm editing. I actually have one more video to do that will be for PYTE. Maybe I'll leave it for tomorrow. So that's this. I have 11 tweets. I don't know. I think I'll leave it for later. I'm kind of tired now. So that's it. And the prayer for this video, may God give these people their respective baggages. Thank you for watching.
Contrary to press reports, they say they never blindsided the Queen.
I've never blindsided my grandmother. I have too much respect for her.
Harry describes a strained relationship with the British press and members of the royal family, including his father, who he says at one point wouldn't pick up his calls. As for his relationship with Prince William,
the relationship is space.
One royal historian tonight tells us the palace will be in crisis mode.
How damaging is the interview?
I think it's very damaging, actually. They've made very serious allegations, primarily, of course, of racism in the royal family.
Oprah says Prince Harry told her the unnamed royal who made the comments about skin colour is not the Queen or Prince Philip.
That conversation I'm never going to share. But at the time it was awkward. I was a bit shocked.
I will never believe it. But now we can start the process of finding out if they ever got uttered, what the context was, and whether there was any racial intent at all. Like I say, I don't believe there was. The royals who are named in this book are King Charles and Catherine, Princess of Wales.
The book's available in a number of languages, and unfortunately I can't speak Dutch, so I haven't seen the copy for myself, but if there have been any translation errors, I'm sure the publishers got it under control. For me, I edited and wrote the English version. There's never been a version that I've produced that has names in it.
That conversation I'm never going to share.
It is a great privilege to be with all of you today.
You know, we ask for forgiveness and please come back.
As you saw me find the love and happiness that I'd hoped for all my life. You are all in this together. And if I may speak personally, we are all in this together. Because asking for help was one of the best decisions that I ever made. You will be continually amazed how life changes for the better.